Rob Warne and Sophie Sierra's marriage was in a dark place as they reunited to film the 90-Day Fiance. Happily Ever After, Season 8 Tell-All. As 90-Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, Season 8 nears its end, Rob Warne and Sophie Sierra's marriage is in worse shape than ever. Rob and Sophie initially appeared in 90-Day Fiancé Season 10, when Sophie moved from London to live with Rob in Los Angeles after meeting through social media. Sophie came from a privileged background, and Rob's home was not quite up to Sophie's standards. Rob criticized Sophie for being spoiled while she questioned his fidelity. Despite their differences, they were married at the end of the season. When Sophie and Rob returned for 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 8, their marriage was already struggling. Sophie's mother and friends continued to encourage her to leave Rob. After she finally had enough of his poor treatment of her, Sophie moved out of the home she shared with Rob. Despite being the one to leave, Sophie was devastated when Rob showed up to announce he was done with their marriage. The season ended with Sophie begging Rob to give their marriage one more chance. The first major snag in Rob and Sophie's relationship came when she accused him of online cheating. Sophie caught Rob talking to other women, which she considered infidelity. This impacted Sophie's confidence in her relationship, and she was never able to fully trust Rob. Although these issues were in the past, they continue to haunt Sophie. Furthermore, Rob could not meet Sophie's emotional needs as she recovered from his betrayal. Sophie needed Rob to reassure her and say kind words to her, which was not his strong suit. Sophie and Rob had conflicting desires when it came to intimacy. Sophie claimed Rob constantly wanted her to dress up in sexy outfits for him, which made her feel she was not good enough on her own. As their relationship worsened, Sophie and Rob rarely had sex in their first year of marriage. Sophie said she needed an emotional connection to be intimate, and since their relationship was on the rocks, they went months without any sexual interaction. This made Rob feel like a husband who has been put in the friend zone. Rob frequently criticized Sophie for being messy and lazy, which he attributed to her being spoiled. He viewed Sophie's messiness as a lack of consideration for others. However, at the 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Tell-All, Sophie shed light on what was going on at the time. Sophie became depressed after marrying Rob. She couldn't get out of bed, which is why she may have appeared lazy. Her marriage to Rob was at least partially to blame for her state, as Sophie claimed the lack of intimacy destroyed her self-esteem. Rob couldn't cope with the situation, and it was Sophie's mom who was there for her during this difficult time. Sophie decided to move out to salvage her well-being. The negative effect Rob has on Sophie's mental state gives them little chance of having a healthy future together. After Sophie moved out and their marriage was essentially non-existent, Rob celebrated his birthday at a club. He flirted with several women, and when asked about his relationship status, Rob said it was complicated. When Sophie watched the footage for the first time on the tell-all stage, she was speechless. Sophie asked Rob if he kept in touch with any of the women, which he denied. However, he later admitted one of the women followed him on Instagram. Sophie was quick to call Rob out for his dishonesty. Sophie has also not been entirely honest with Rob. She told Rob she was bisexual, but she did not tell him she had been with women before. When confronted on the tell-all stage, Sophie's castmates accused her of telling a half-truth. Sophie responded that Rob had never asked about her sexuality, and it was not an issue in their marriage. Still, Rob was shocked by Sophie's admission. Their hurt shows how much they still care about one another. But Rob and Sophie will never have a happy marriage if they continue to keep secrets. As Sophie and Rob rehash their marriage issues on the 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Tell-All, they both seemed willing to continue working on their marriage. They said they were not currently living together, but were still open to giving their marriage another chance. They had tried everything but therapy, which neither ruled out. When Sophie and Rob broke down all the issues that led them to live separately, it made sense how an otherwise happy relationship could suffer in such circumstances. However, Sophie delivered a devastating blow when she admitted she and Rob were not right for each other. Rob treated her poorly throughout their entire relationship, and she was unable to find happiness with him. Sophie said she and Rob bring out the worst in each other, which will make it impossible for them to ever have a happy marriage. Despite ending their segment on the 90-day fiancé, happily ever after, tell all in a dark place, Sophie and Rob may continue to work on their relationship. According to In Touch Weekly, Sophie and Rob were spotted in Arizona alongside other 90-day fiancé stars. They were rumored to be filming 90-Day Fiancé, The Last Resort Season 2. 90-Day Fiancé, The Last Resort focuses on couples from the franchise whose relationships require serious work. The participants engage in a retreat where they dig deep to sort through their issues. In addition to being spotted at the filming site, the article also states Sophie had posted photos with rustic settings, further evidence that she was traveling to film. This suggests Sophie and Rob were continuing to work on their marriage, and even finally seeking therapy to resolve their problems. Sophie and Rob are both deeply hurt by the state of their marriage. It appears they both want to make it work. However, Sophie's admission on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, that she and Rob do not bring out the best in each other suggests they will never find happiness together. They each deserve partners that allow them to be their best. If Sophie and Rob stay together, they will continue to bring each other down.